Hi everybody, it's Friday afternoon and this week seems like it's gone by really fast at moments and some moments it's gone a little slow.
This whole stretch of time has seemed to go really slow and be full of hard things, and sometimes it causes us to wonder how faithful God is. There was a faithful servant of God named Job who God allowed to undergo a lot of trouble, but in the midst of that, Job said, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him." In one of his recent books, Tim Keller recalls a fairy tale. It's about a wicked witch that lives in the middle of the forest that's crossed by a rather busy trail. The witch is very deceptive, and she would invite travelers to spend the night. She'd give them a delicious meal and then ask them to stay the night in the most comfortable bed they've ever experienced. If they accepted, they were in trouble. The bed had magic in it, and it was so comfortable it might put a person into such a deep sleep that they wouldn't wake up before the sun rose. And if they failed to wake up before the sun rose, they were turned into stone, never again to be fleshly creatures. Now, one of the travelers, the witch, did not turn into stone, but used as a servant to do her bidding. That girl couldn't escape from the witch, but she began to have compassion on all these travelers, and she tried to undermine what the witch was up to. One day, a young man came by, and he accepted the invitation, enjoyed the meal, and went to bed. But before he went to bed, the girl said, "Let me prepare your bed for you." And what she did was she tossed into the bed thistles and thorns and sticks to make it actually a very uncomfortable bed. He got in there, and he kept moving around, but he kept being poked by sharp objects, and despite his efforts to throw them out, he had a miserable night, so miserable that he finally gave up on sleep in the very early hours of the morning and got up to leave. He bumped into the girl as he left, and he complained about how bad she had made the bed. And she smiled to herself and thought, "I brought you a little misery for a night to save you from a whole lot of trouble." God sometimes does that for us.
And so God may be doing that in our lives right now. So we may be going through some misery or some hard days, and they may be dragging on, and we need to look for ways that God might be working in us. God might be working in us to deal with some stuff inside of ourselves that we need to come to terms with. God might be working with us to work on some relationships and engage with people that we haven't engaged with before. Maybe God's calling us to get more actively involved with justice issues in the world. Maybe God simply wants us to go through our photos and connect with family in ways we haven't before. We invite you to look for ways that God might be bringing you into a new place, a better place filled with life, not with stone. And we look forward to seeing you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.